The first 2 episodes of WandaVision left a lot of people confused, as there was a bit of solid mystery embedded into 2 old-timey comedy tropes. Will episode 3 break the mold? Or will it captivate us in a different way? Hi there, it's Micha. Let's have a look and find out together. This week and going forward, Disney's plan is to drop 1 episode each Friday, so this week we can only discuss the 3rd chapter in the WandaVision saga. As I am not an expert on Marvel comics, I will continue to offer my 2 cents from the MCU perspective of things, but still look up some shatter and Easter eggs from the web, as long as those are not definite spoilers. Here we go! The show starts directly with credits in the style of the 70s, and afterwards we see Wanda being examined by a doctor, who determines she is now 4 months pregnant, though Vision lets us know that this happened overnight, indicating that for him it is just the next day. As Vision sees the physician out, the neighbors are acting strange, like Herb using a hacksaw to trim the bushes and then sawing into the wall as if it was normal. Back inside, Wanda already grew even bigger.
Wanda, have you gotten bigger?
Both spend most of the morning working on building a nursery and discussing baby names, with Vision favoring Billy while Wanda prefers Tommy. When the baby starts to kick, indicating she would now be 6 months along, they notice that the pregnancy causes magical hiccups in Wanda. Small bursts of magic she can't control, like having the butterflies of the mobile coming to life. These disturbances grow bigger until false labor is setting in, causing the whole block to lose electricity. Outside, Vision finds the neighbors acting even stranger. And when he mentioned that to Wanda,
I think something's wrong here.
she again adjusted the situation with a small jump back in time, making Vision lose his train of thought.
We are in uncharted waters.
We just don't know what to expect.
When her water breaks, manifesting as an indoor rain shower, Vision runs to fetch the doctor again, while Wanda has to deal with Geraldine, who wants to borrow a bucket for a water leak, but wouldn't leave. As her magical misfire creates a real-life stork, along with appropriate shenanigans, Wanda struggles with hiding more than just her baby bump. When Geraldine discovers the nursery, labor's setting in and the child is born. Vision and the doctor arrive just in time to find out Wanda is having twins, allowing for both names to come to use. Outside again, Vision is asked about Geraldine still being inside, indicating that she is new here without being home here, that she came here because we are all... And they never finished that thought. While inside, Wanda remembers also being a twin, having a brother, making Geraldine say, "He was killed by Ultron, right?" in some kind of a haze. As Wanda's look falls on Geraldine's sword pendant, she asks,
Who are you?
I don't know.
which her guest cannot answer. When Vision joins Wanda inside, Geraldine is gone without a trace, and the image grows from the 4:3 ratio to CinemaScope, showing the outskirts of Westview, surrounded by a dome-like force field, out of which Geraldine is thrown out. We see contemporary cars approach and choppers up in the air, rushing to help her. So, what does that all mean? And was this episode better than the previous one? Tough question. Let's put it like this. Since I knew what to expect, I am now used to the sitcom structure dominating the episode, without much adding to the storyline we can see right now. That allowed me to better embrace it and enjoy the comedic tropes more than before, maybe even making a rewatch of the first 2 episodes better. But I still stand by last week's rating of 5 and 6 points respectively.
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
I still believe it would have served the show better to drop all episodes at once, so viewers can decide on their own how long the mystery should be drawn out. Casual viewers likely might jump ship, as the format doesn't give them much to work with, even though the salutes to each decade are well researched and presented, like the sexist running gag saying that the kid better be a boy, and that medically skilled women can only become nurses, not physicians. But this is not the only issue it has to battle. The 2 biggest problems created by the writers are these. As the side characters are meant to be one-dimensional, at least for now, there is no character development. That only happens for Vision, but always gets a reset afterwards.
This is our home.
Are you sure?
While we don't get much insight into Wanda, as there lies the main mystery. And secondly, due to that mystery, we don't know what the stakes are, what the risks for our heroes may be. They are only uncovered bit by bit at the episode's end. But without knowing the stakes, the thrill and tension suffers. I hope the ratio between details from inside the bubble and the outside world starts to shift soon, so we will understand the actual danger and can start to be afraid for the characters. Let's look at what we've learned this week. We now can be sure that Wanda is consciously influencing Vision, creating the time jumps to keep him in the dark. We just don't know if she created that situation or just leverages her powers from time to time. And how aware of her own situation she is, as she mostly appears to be as confused as the people around her, and apparently has no idea what the pregnancy means. We also know that Westview is a real place, though we are not sure if it was created from scratch or was just hijacked. As she, or whoever controls the community, seems to have problems keeping the neighbors under their mental thumb, may indicate that they are real people, struggling against that influencing force. But if Wanda created the bubble, why was she asked last episode who is doing this to her? There are a lot of allusions pointing to the people being trapped, from this week's fake commercial, Hydra Soak bath powder, saying something to the effect of, if you wanna go away but you can't leave, to the doctor cancelling his vacation saying, it is hard to escape a small town. So, the locals are likely real. Though you don't see any other children in town, and the community seems to grow if you watch the comedy show titles, keeping both options open. So we really don't know much, and nothing for sure. The only thing we can be sure of is that Geraldine is a SWORD agent, which basically was spoiled before with official statements saying she is grown-up Monica Rambeau, daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend from a standalone movie. I guess we will learn more about her next week, hopefully opening a door to see more outside details. And we see that the bubble is surrounded from outside by apparatuses, apparently emitting energy. But is this to get inside, like Geraldine and the beekeeper went? Or is that to keep the bubble in place, keeping it from growing? Would the bubble otherwise expand, rewriting the whole world's reality? If Vision wasn't real but only exists in the bubble, and if his returning to life would be the only thing that the rewrite of reality would change, then it might be a good thing. But maybe also the confusion from inside might impact the world. That would be less welcome. Maybe it is just a precaution until they, SWORD, understand what it means, if the bubble even is expanding. Let's revisit prior theories based on what we've learned. It could still be the real Vision, or at least his essence, that Wanda tries to extract from a fragment of the Mind Stone. And this is all just a side effect. Maybe she needs to keep him from realizing what happens until they reach the real time period in the 2020s? Maybe she is uploading him into a new Vision body she got from another dimension, courtesy of Doctor Strange. And the process progression is presented by the different decades? But for now, we only know that the bubble contains an alternate reality, and can only speculate who created it, though likely Wanda, and to what effect in the end. And we can still not be sure if Vision is real or not, and if Wanda is so strong that she could just will him into existence. But we can be pretty sure it all happens here on Earth, within said bubble. Unless they end up revealing that the alternate reality was only happening in Wanda's head, and the few bits of reality we are given aren't even true. But that would be a betrayal on the viewer I don't expect, or at least hope to be no option. The Wanda, who is doing that to you radio message allows that possibility, which worries me a bit. I think Wanda is only partially conscious of what she's doing, but why keep Vision from finding out that the reality is not real? And what does Vision know? Is he aware he is jumping through decades and that his surroundings are ever changing? We don't learn much about it, as that would take away one mystery, but again, stops character development. I still don't believe that they build up Wanda to be the Fiend in the next Doctor Strange movie. She will be an ally. No new details though about Agnes's only mentioned in name husband Ralph, and no further information on Vision's employee company, so those might have been just red herrings. Agnes could still be Agatha Harkness, Wanda's mentor from the comics and real witch. She could be trapped with her, either after helping her, or maybe it is a coincidence and they will introduce her as a mentor afterwards, to align the MCU with the comics. Let's check out what theories the internet has in store for us. One rumor says that as a segue to the movie, Doctor Strange might show up in the show to either face or help Wanda at the end. Since he can travel through realities, it might make sense. Maybe he already was involved, helping her before the show started, as I hinted before? We will find out. Which makes me remember that at the end of Endgame, we see Wanda standing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Was that just a nod to them being the first 2 shows on Disney+, or does it represent more? Will there be a cameo of the two in this show, building a bridge between the 2 series? Maybe possible too. Then there's of course the fact that the twins are named Billy and Tommy, as they are called in a comic storyline, where they are also born in a similar way, and later become superheroes and part of the Young Avengers. There's also the speculation that they will represent the first mutants in the MCU, as all other superpowers before were attributed to Inhumans, aliens, experiments and such, because Fox had the rights to the mutant portion of Marvel's catalog, which is now back in the mother's company's fold, as we all know. Which is a good transition to our next theory, which says that maybe Evan Peters, who portrays Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, might have a last appearance as his character alongside a cameo of Wanda's dead brother, as a nod to Roseanne having Becky played by 2 different actors in the 80s. And lastly, one theory implies that the commercials are hinting to the Infinity Stones, with the toaster in Ep 1 having a light like the Power Stone, the watch in Episode 2 representing the Time Stone, and this week's bath powder is presented in form of a cube, hinting to the Tesseract, aka Space Stone. Not much on what that might mean though. Are they still around in particle form and can still be harnessed? If so, what does that mean for the MCU? Maybe it is really meant as an illusion, but placed as a red herring? Well, so much about other theories. Let's look at the rating. Again, a tough one. Still too much fluff and too little hints to solve or understand the mystery. But we are getting a bit more used to that setup, allowing to enjoy the comedy elements more. Although it is counterintuitive to really embrace the comedic setup while we are waiting for the drama to unfold in the overarching background. I really expect more details from the outside world to come in soon, though this chapter doesn't solve much, leaving a little bit of an unsatisfied feeling. I'm rating chapter 3 with 6.5 out of 10 points, as the upwards trend is visible, but I really hope they kick it up a notch next week. How did you like the current episode? Do you agree with any of the theories? What is your take? Let me know in the comments. That's it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like it and feel free to share it with your friends. And why not subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any future video. Make sure to also hit the notification bell to get a heads up whenever a new video is posted. So much for now, see you next time and thanks for watching!